Hello guys, this is KTV Vlogs or TPZ Production here, as I'm back on my vlog channel here, and welcome to the final episode of the Dragon Ball Remaster series. As I did start this series probably 2 years ago or a year or so ago, probably been almost that. But as we're finally here at the final episode of this remastered series, as of on this channel, I tried to go back and remaster some of my older videos, like from 2018 and all that stuff. So that's what I've kind of basically been doing. So as this video, we'll be talking about the conclusion to all of Dragon Ball and basically paying respect to Erika Toriyama, because I'll talk about that at the end. So as in this video, we'll be diving into how I feel about the whole Dragon Ball series, all the shows and the movies, the games, etc., etc. So let's get started. So as of me being a Dragon Ball fan, as you guys should know that, I always liked Dragon Ball. I kind of liked it more, I guess, more than Pokemon, because I like the story, like the like go on an adventure and discover new things and do stuff like that. Even so, in Pokemon, it's kind of became a lackluster show because Pokemon never been the same. I mean, it never did. I mean, since I say the I say the 2000 movie, it never been the same because like I always loved the first movie. Always. Can't never forget that movie. I mean, completely. It basically was the pinnacle of Pokemon at the time. And yeah, I will never forget that. So I know the original 150 Pokemon, well, I guess 51 Pokemon, because, yeah, I include Mew, can never be out topped. I mean, stuff you see today in Pokemon is not better than those original Pokemon. I'm sorry. To anybody today that loves the Pokemon that you see today, I mean, ugh, horrible. So, yeah, little brief of Pokemon, but true. I mean, it never been the same. So, after that time period, like 2000, the 2000 movie, I seen the third movie once, but it's not really I pray I remember it. I always remember the fourth movie, though, Forever. I always remember that one mostly, but third one is kind of like you've seen it once and you never saw it again. But the so-called remake of Pokemon, the whole the Journey Pokemon, they kind of trying to erase the original Pokemon in some cases, because that's what they was trying to do. It did not go so well. Even so, we saw that legendary Pokemon in the beginning of the series. They was trying to make a whole movie off of that legendary Pokemon. But in reality, don't mess with something that we still don't know where it would connect in the future, because it never been explained. So that's why I don't like stuff like that. Like, you erasing the original Pokemon, but ignore that Pokemon and we're praising like Sun and Moon, Black XYZ, all this crazy shit. It's sad. But anyway, I'm off topic of what the video is supposed to be. But give you guys an example. So, yeah, Pokemon never been the same. Never has. So, back to Dragon Ball. Off that topic. So that's how Dragon Ball is to me. Like, I like the story and I like like the whole dynamic of it, and always like to discover new things towards it. So like for the original Dragon Ball, never really watched the show. There was certain stuff in the show that I remember from it, but it's not like oh I like do I have the whole seasons now Dragon Ball like the original? No, I never really collected the the original Dragon Ball show at all. I had one movie, but I think it was the Mystical Village. I think it's the one with General Tao. It's the movie version of the whole General Tao fight, but they made it into a movie. It's like they combine the whole tournament with Tien and Chaozu with the part of the whole after the whole events of the Red Ribbon Army. So it's like they combined two of those stories together in that movie. Because you had is it Upa and Boar? They were in the movie, I think. I don't know if Boar dies in the movie. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But that was the only Dragon Ball movie I have. But my favorite Dragon Ball movie is still to this day from the original Dragon Ball movie is Path to Power. I actually like that movie. It's pretty good. It took the whole art style of Dragon Ball GT and made it whole look amazing, look cool, and I kind of like that. So Dragon Ball, it like do I know the stories and the stuff of the show? Yes, but did I watch the whole entire series? No, I never did. There was certain stuff in the show that I watched, that I do remember, like the whole the King Piccolo, the 22nd tournament. I think it was the one with Tien, and the 23rd tournament with Piccolo. So those stories and stuff I do remember it mostly of, and how I knew Dragon Ball. You guys a little story here. At the time, I was playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, and in the game you can play as Kid Goku. And so I was like, huh? Why is Goku a kid? And Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball and Budokai 3. And I think the game came out in 2004. So that was right, and that was right after that. That's how we found out about Dragon Ball GT, because that's when they announced it on Toonami. I was like, Goku's a kid again. And then they was showing Dragon Ball, the actual Dragon Ball show. And then they will flashbacks like the episodes like in Dragon Ball Z, like they showed Goku as a kid in the Android Saga destroying the Red Ribbon Army. So I was like, oh, so Goku was a kid, because in Dragon Ball Z, like Goku was already an adult, so I didn't know like oh, Goku was a kid in the show. So that's how I discovered the original Dragon Ball. So even so, I don't have a lot of memories of Dragon Ball. I know it's part of the series. That don't mean like, oh, I hate the show. Like I hate it. No, I just, you know, I didn't know at the time, and you know, I didn't care. Like, oh, I gotta support it now because I have to care about it. Like, be a fake person. I like all the shows. Yeah, I see a lot of those fake Dragon Ball fans out there. But that's true. Like that don't mean like, oh, I don't like this because oh, because you liked it more and I didn't. That don't mean, oh, you hate it. So yeah, that's my little history with Dragon Ball, and that's how I think of the series. Like it's the story, it's part of the story of what it is and where it all started. Okay, so now we get into Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was my favorite show. Was the first show I ever saw of anything of Dragon Ball. It was this show. First saw the show in 2000. I was 3 years old, and the first thing I ever saw Dragon Ball Z that I always loved till this very day is the first fight of Goku and Vegeta in the Sand Saga. Always a memorable fight. Was basically the first thing I ever see a Dragon Ball, and still to this day, that's my favorite fight in Dragon Ball Z. Still is. But it's on my list. It's number one. It's number one in the list. And I say the second fight in Dragon Ball Z that would be my favorite definitely would be Piccolo versus Android 17. That was a great fight. I mean, it could have continued if Cell did not intervene. Um, I always liked the Goku versus Cell fight in the Cell games as well, and stuff like that. Well, I'll talk about the fights later in the in a minute. I'm going off topic, going off that, but the Goku versus Vegeta fight in the Sand Saga was where I started, where I first saw Dragon Ball Z. Anything but Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball Z always was my favorite show. It still is till this very day. It's kind of sad with Dragon Ball Z Kai. Basically, was trying to destroy the legacy of Dragon Ball Z, as some people will say it would be Dragon Ball Evolution. Technically, in reality, they tried to make a movie, but in reality, you know that it's not going to help. Is Dragon Ball can't be a real life movie. I mean, yeah, I saw the cool ideas on YouTube of these guys dressing up like Goku and stuff, and try to make a live action movie. Like, no, just leave it alone. Don't do that. It always stay great as an anime, and it stay as what it is, what it originally was. It can never be a live action. Yeah, that was a flop and that was a failure. But as to me, I really did not really hate the movie. Like I seen the seen it twice in 2010. I mean, like I didn't hate it. I mean, like, is it memorable? No, because that's what they did. Like these guys will say, "I Dragon Ball Evolution was a horrible, it's a horrible movie. It's a horrible movie." You must have loved it if it was that if it was that fucking horrible. I mean, like as a person that just seen it twice, it's not even memorable in my head. So that's it's kind of weird. You must have liked it if you remember that if you remember that well. But anyway, Dragon Ball Z Kai, what kind of did ruin the Dragon Ball Z legacy because It was basically 2 years after Toonami stopped in 2008, and then all of a sudden they made Dragon Ball Z Kai. And even so, Toonami did come back, uh, but it would never basically see Kai what ruined Z. And that's why, as it's kind of funny, if you go to the store today, if you buy the DVD sets, you don't see Dragon Ball Z Kai at all on the shelf because they made sure that show do not ever that would never sell on a shelf ever again because it was so horrible. I mean, so bad, especially the dub. I mean, come on. Take away the original voices that we remember, like Gohan's voice, and even so, Chris Ayers passed away. I can even do that Frieza voice, and I mean, it's not hard to me. Like, I'm Lord Frieza. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, I sound like Star Blast right now. I mean, come on. It's true because anybody can do that voice. But Linda Young will always be Frieza. I mean, it's true. It can never be replaced. I mean, that's the Frieza. That's Frieza. Monica Rial's Boma. No. Horrible. Last name spelled liar. Backwards. Liar. Anyway, but it's true. Like I said, Kai is kind of destroyed the Dragon Ball Z legacy, and that's why it's really some people will praise some of it and stuff like that. Like, that's not Dragon Ball Z because at when when they first announced Dragon Ball Z Kai, I was thinking this is gonna be like a little series that happened between like the after the events of End of Z, not End of Z, but in between End of Z. So basically, even so, Super is trying to do that, but he's trying to erase it in its place. When they first showed the trailer of Dragon Ball Z Kai, I was thinking it's gonna be because they showed a trailer like Goku going to space or something, and all of a sudden and then when I see the first episode, it's I'm seeing the Sand Saga. Huh? Huh? This ain't what? And I was like, what are they trying to destroy Dragon Ball Z? And that's what I saw. And ever since then, that's kind of it is kind of a slap in the face, and that's true because it was 2 years after Toonami got taken down, and I think Kids WB was taken down as well. I mean, all those great channels that you watch, those Saturday morning cartoons and stuff, all that was taken down. And I was like, what the fuck? And technically, at the time, the only way to watch your great cartoons and shows if you had the DVDs. And so, even so, people bashing on the orange bricks back then, it's best to have those because that was the only way to watch Dragon Ball Z. Besides the VCR tapes, if you know what era I grew up in, especially like the early 2000s and the late 90s, that was the only way to watch the show. But the orange bricks are so horrible. But you're buying a big bulk of the same Dragon Ball Z seasons that I can go to Walmart right now and buy all of them together. Because Season 1 through 3 is together, Season 4 through 6 is together, and 7 through 9 is together. So you can get all of them for $32 tops. And that price you're paying for almost $100 on all of those, I can get one of those one at a time and have all of them in one time. Instead, you got all you buying that whole big bulk for nothing is just a waste of time. And the Blu-ray is going to sound different because it's relies on how they sound after they redid the show. So, as I'm going to tell you guys about Dragon Ball Z dub. The dub that I remember watching back then, that was in 2000, was the original Funimation dub. It was originally recorded, I think, 99 to 2000. So, like, during the, let's say, the Sand Saga to the Frieza Saga. But even so, back then, like, they were showing reruns of Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, because I think they started back to the Sand Saga when I first saw it. So whenever I seen, I think I seen it in, I think it was, let's see, I think it started the Frieza Saga. I think that summer of 2000, because I think it was 2000, because 2001, that's when they got to the Android Saga. So like Garlic Jr. and all that stuff. So in the summer of, I think it was in the summer of June or July, that's when they started the Frieza Saga, and with Frieza transforming and all that stuff. So the original dub that I remember watching on Toonami on Cartoon Network was the original Funimation dub. At first, I think when people first saw Dragon Ball Z, it was the Ocean dub. So in 2000, they decided to go with the original Funimation dub that they did, and so the Sand Saga that I saw was the original Funimation dub from the show when it was on TV. So as to what I see now that's on the DVDs, they actually remastered the Sand Saga. Like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, their voices are fully remastered. So all the lines and stuff were all brand new. Okay, season 2 is the same thing, fully remastered, all the voice lines, everything, all that is brand new. Uh, some of the episodes, like Goku talking, I say when he's talking to uh, Gohan and Gohan and Krillin, told him to go get the Dragon Balls. That those voice lines were older voice lines that he was saying in the original Funimation dub, and some of his stuff, some of his lines were remastered. Some of them are not. I think the power up screen with power up with against Captain Ginyu, I think that was still the same, and I think everything else was, yeah, all of it was still the same throughout the Frieza saga. Only lines that was remastered, I say, was Vegeta lines, because all his lines in the Frieza saga was fully remastered. So some of Goku's lines was, and half of them were not. I say, except I say the whole speech. I say is the only thing that was fully remastered. His hero speech. No, allied to good. I merit to you. Yeah, that. All that's, I think all that's fully remastered. Same with Frieza's voice is still the same from the original Funimation dub. Besides some of Frieza's lines in the when he first fights Vegeta, all that was fully remastered. But like all his lines, like in the I say in the I mean transform, second form, third form, they were they just enhanced the audio of the voice. And that's all they did. But I say all the stuff from the Android saga, half of it was never remastered. And only thing that was basically up to date to me I say was the Boost saga because it was still the same. The all the voice lines in the show were all still the same, and because it was just like 2002, so all their lines and stuff was brand new. Like their voice and everything would sound the same. But some stuff like like I said, Sand Saga and Frieza Saga, some like Vegeta lines, all that stuff. Some that was fully remastered, all of that, and some Goku lines were remastered, and some were not. So when I see people gripe about that, like hate on that factor, it's just sad. Like, okay, like even so, like yeah, I remember what they actually said in the old when it was on TV. That don't mean like, oh, it's horrible, it's garbage. Blu-ray edition's so bad. There's a penis, and the draw and the animation's so horrible. It don't look right in Blu-ray. And I'm like, it's the same how it was in 1989. I'm like, it's nothing new. I mean, come on, they just remastered it and what good uh good lighting and good color. You acting like this was made today. Like it's not made today, it was made back then. Even I know that. It's just sad. Like I'm like, yeah, keep them 101 and all those stupid dumb videos he did make about that. I'm like, dude, why would you buy the same DVD set and it's the same thing you already bought? And anybody will take up for that if that's wrong. But it's right to do that. But it's wrong to tell you that what's that's not good at all if you buying the same thing over and over again. Okay, but that's true about that. Like the DVDs and stuff. That was the only way to watch the show. There was no Funimation app and none of that stuff that we see today. But kind of sad what happened to Funimation though. But that was the only way that we can watch Dragon Ball. Basically, if you have the DVDs and yeah, VHS tapes, the all that. So yeah. So now we're gonna get to like my moments I like with the show. Like I always love the music. I mean, Bruce Falconer's music will always be great to listen to. It still is to this very day. It's what I always listen to when I hear the show. Every time it comes on, anything of Dragon Ball Z of hearing that music, that's why to love the show because it was great. I mean, with the scenes that was the music when it kicks in and you be like, wow, it's just amazing. So yeah, then my best fights, like I said, I'm get to that now. Goku versus Vegeta is basically where it all started, how I got into the show. Um, in the Frieza saga, I say the fight with some honorable fights in the Frieza saga. Well, my favorite fight in the Frieza saga was Piccolo fighting Frieza. Piccolo fighting Frieza in second form. That was actually a good fight. You can't say that was not a great fight in Z in the Frieza saga. But like Goku versus Frieza fight in the Frieza saga, yeah, is great. But I always like Piccolo versus Frieza, and it was kind of nice. Um, honorable fight I say will be Vegeta versus Zarbon. That was a great fight. I have to say that was a good fight. Especially in the end, Zarbon turned to his beast mode form and beat the living shit out of Vegeta. But in reality, like that's the only honorable fight I can say. Let's see. But like I said, yeah, everybody gonna be praising the Goku versus Frieza fight always. But only reason why is because the best moment in the whole show was when Goku turned Super Saiyan. And that was the only thing I liked out of that whole arc when he transformed to that. So, yeah, it makes sense. Alright, so we get to the um, Android saga. And of course, Piccolo versus Cell fight. It was a great fight as well. I say that would be an honorable fight, mentioned fight. Um, but my best fight that I loved in the Android saga was Piccolo versus Android 17. Okay, so next will be the next fight will be let's say Goku versus Cell will be another great fight as well. Um, Gohan as Super Saiyan 2 fighting Cell, that'll be a great fight as well. Okay, and yeah, so Super Saiyan 2 Gohan versus Cell fight will always be great. Then of course the father and son Kamehameha always would be a memorable thing out of the Android saga. Um, of course, Final Flash. The let's see. Oh, when Trunks killed Frieza, I mean, of course that has to be there. So, but yeah. So moments like that, like I remember out of the arcs and stuff, will always be memorable to me. Of course, when Gohan turned to Super Saiyan 2, I mean, just awesome. All right, so yeah, so we're just going through the moments and my best fights I like. So get to the Boo saga. Even though I don't include the Garlic Jr. saga at all, but I had to say the Garlic Jr. saga is a good arc. It's not a bad arc, as some people will say. It's filler, it's filler. It actually is a pretty good arc. The Otherworld tournament was great too. I actually liked the fight with Goku and Pycon, but I guess I'll have it as an honorable mention fight. But get to the Boo saga, of course. I always loved the rematch of Goku versus Vegeta, Majin Vegeta. So it's all that stuff throughout the Boo saga that was awesome to me, and so it's very memorable. Let's see. Of course, Super Saiyan 3, yeah, and let's see, the Fusion. Let's see, yeah, Fusion, Ultimate Gohan. I mean, And you fighting Super Boo. Always good times. Of course, you can't forget Vegito. Then, of course, my favorite Majin Buu will always be the Gohan Absorb Super Buu. I mean, it's always my favorite. Let's see. Of course, the Spirit Bomb, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. That was basically only the my best stuff that I like out of the whole arc. But some people actually kind of did bash on the Majin Buu saga, but it's kind of sad that when they do that, it's just wrong, very wrong. But I enjoyed it. I mean, like, it's kind of sad to see people do that, but it's what it is. What it is. So as we get to the movies, like I said, there was always movies in the series that I did enjoy. It's kind of nice I actually finally got all the original Dragon Ball Z movies to have the whole complete set of all the movies now. So, kind of glad I finished that collection because I never really had all the movies. Well, the original movies, I'm only missing two. It's actually Bardock Father Goku and the History of Trunks. And those actually are kind of hard to find. But I know, like, oh, you get the VCR tape. Like, yeah, but I'm trying to find the actual DVD because they actually are together on the DVD. It's very, very rare. You can't really find it. But I'm going to try hard to find it though, because that's the only two I have to get. But I do have all the original 13 movies now of Dragon Ball Z. I wouldn't say Battle of Gods and Resurrection have to be part of that because they actually are, even though they're using the title Dragon Ball Z. But I don't count them as that because they're actually a part of Super, so it makes sense. So, my favorite movies out of all the original Dragon Ball Z movies, I always liked Return of Cooler. It's actually one of my favorite ones. Let's see. Return of Cooler, the first Broly movie, BoJack Unbound, Android 13, Super Android 13, Fusion Reborn, and Wrath of the Dragon. So them were my favorite movies, the original from the original movies. All right. So as overall for Dragon Ball Z, it's my favorite show. It always has been. And as for that, like it kind of is the reason why I like the games and stuff. And so like I said, I always liked the Budokai series. They were fun, very fun. And when I did had some of those games a long time ago, they were fun. Uh, I would love to get Tekkaichi 3 again because I really want that game too. I mean, because I have Tekkaichi 2 now. I have the second one. So I actually bought it again. And I will try to get Tekkaichi 3, but that's my hope and my wish to get that game again. Because, I mean, I'll have fun with that all day. I mean, completely. Even so, the new one's coming out soon. Will I get it? Maybe. But it won't, like, it really catch my attention like how the original game did. Just gotta see. But so far as what I see of it, just promoting Super, to be honest. Because if you're going to promote Z, Z has to come before that. So me seeing a Super Saiyan Blue Goku and the Sand Saga, it don't fucking connect. So it really don't. But even so, I know the trailer showed different versions of Goku and Vegeta, like Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. No. But no, like as I see so far, they actually are promoting Super more than they're promoting Z. And they noticed that Z is the reason Super is standing where it is now. Because even the figures, like the Dragon Star figures, they actually are selling more Z characters than they're selling Super characters. Because they know that Z and GT will sell more than Super. Because they will. Makes sense. I mean, Super Saiyan 4 is way better than a blue haired Goku. I mean, come on. But, you know, that's what they do. So, speaking of GT, that's next. Dragon Ball GT, uh, always liked it. It's kind of sad how the state of that series went through. Originally, it would have been just like Z. It probably would have had a manga, and mostly everybody said it would have had a manga. And technically, it would have had the story elements as if GT had a whole full story. It would probably have been like Dragon Ball AF, that, and they would actually have more story with the characters and stuff. And that's what it would have had done because, at the time, they was, Toriyama was tired after Dragon Ball Z. And if he had made a manga for GT, it would have had a whole series to itself and it probably would have been pretty good. But even so, what they had done with the 64 episodes of GT, I didn't hate the show at all. I mean, the story ideas were perfect. Like the them the whole they searching for the Dragon Balls. It makes sense why they're searching for the Dragon Balls. If they don't get them, the world will be doomed and all that stuff. Instead of Super, let's use the Dragon Balls. No, Super Dragon Balls. What am I gonna wish for? I don't know what to wish for. No, at least in GT, there was really dark moments that they got to get the Dragon Balls for because of this and because of that. Not being stupid and super retarded. Oh, don't get me started with that superhero movie when we get to it. But um, at least in GT, the stories had good meaning to the stories, and I actually liked that, especially with the baby saga, um, wanting revenge against the Saiyans and Super Android 17, basically 17. They want a actual fight with Goku fighting 17 because he never got a chance to fight 17. Then basically use the idea that helps the characters throughout their struggles and their problems. The Dragon Balls are the enemies now, and that's kind of a cool idea. And I kind of wish they could have had more and done more with the story, like whole story or arc for other characters and do all that stuff. Especially like with Oob and Pan. I mean, they could have more story time on screen, and all of that. They could have did it. Even so, yeah, Pan was with Goku and Trunks throughout the whole show with GT. But I wish there was more. Like I said in this episode remaster video, I wish the story had more and the characters would do more. And it would have been pretty cool if they had that whole. It could have been like Z, had a whole good manga and all that. I kind of wish it would happen. But you know. But you gotta admit, Super Saiyan 4 is better than a Super Saiyan God and a Super Saiyan Blue, whatever you call it, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, whatever you call it, crap. Way better than Ultra Instinct 2 because it feels like a transformation that I can see Goku achieving, and it's basically what they actually are. So I like that. Not him looking like a blue hair cos. Sorry, I'm gonna say cosplayer because it's technically all he is. He just got blue hair on his head. So I enjoy GT and I always liked it. Okay, so for Super, I went back and rewatched the series because when I first watched the show, when it was on YouTube, when it was broadcasting the show all over YouTube, I didn't like the show at all. And it was kind of bad, but it only picked up when it got to I say the when they revealed Android 17 to be in the Universal Survival arc, and I was kind of kind of excited to see Android 17 again. And when I finally watched the show, watched the episodes with him in it, especially those episodes, then got Gohan training Piccolo. That was kind of nice for that and all that. But as the rest of the stuff in the show in the series, like the whole they redid the really re-released the two movies as a story arc in the show, and you have a whole Universal Six tournament, basically kind of retelling back to the whole Baba tournament and the Otherworld tournament. Then you had a arc that was trying to revamp the whole Android saga. Instead of Trunks being in peace, he lived in a nightmare. Technically, he could have been. It could have been a Xenoverse arc. I was thinking that too because at the time when it came out, it was 2016. I think Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 came out at the time, so that's probably true. Because I was thinking it could have been for that, but nope, nope, nope. Or they could have had did the whole, or Super could have been the whole story arc for that game. And I kind of see that game to be a Xenoverse could have been a whole show to itself. You know, just like that's what I kind of thought that whole arc was. Because you have an evil Goku. I'm like, then got a Kai that thinks everything should be destroyed and everything should be beauty and radiance. So, I mean, like, Samasu, he was a horrible character, like I said. But it's kind of sad, like, how they had Trunks go through that dumb mess, and it was just horrible. But like I said, like those episodes in Super that were good, like the whole filler part when they had like I think it was Arale came back. Then you had the what they were doing playing baseball. That was an episode that messed with the Dragon Balls. So that's technically probably what it came with the whole GT. Basically, it kept using Dragon Balls too much, and that's what they were doing. But like the whole thing with the Universal Survival arc, like the characters they had in that arc, they were they not focusing on more what with them and all that, and that's what those was wrong with it. And then like the Sand characters from Universe 6. Things to explore more with them. Like, let's see. Hit, I was kind of thinking he was like Pycon at the time. I was like, he looked like Pycon to me. But, what else? What else? Even the other universes, like they did like explore none of them at all. They were there to fight Goku, and that's all they were. They were just there. But like I said, like the whole show as itself, it wasn't great. It wasn't. Even so, they still making the mangas. It's kind of sad. Don't make a show while the manga is going on at the same time because it'll mess up. And that's why they ended in 131 episodes. Because to be honest, half the stuff that was in the manga that was not actually in the show itself is kind of ridiculous. Especially Gohan was supposed to be fighting Jerry, not Goku. So that makes sense why everything was different. And I think Gohan was fighting Kefla too. So the whole thing, Goku blasting her with Ultra Instinct, coming on, and all that stuff in the show, actually Gohan defeats Kefla, not Goku. I was looking at that manga, I was like, damn, no wonder. Everything is twisted. But you see, like I said, it's kind of ridiculous of what they did and everything. But other than that, like Super, like as I went back and watched it a couple of months ago, you know, it's not a great show. I mean, like it's not, but you know, could have been better because, like I said, with the Broly movie, it was just a stop motion idea from people playing with action figures. Technically, that's all it was. But superhero, it had like it was kind of nice for Gohan and Piccolo to have story, and I actually liked that. It was kind of cool. They finally get them have a chance to have story, and they did that with them. It was cool. And basically, the dumbest thing I remember in that movie was fucking Bulma wishing herself to look young. Basically, technically, in reality, you wish yourself to have plastic surgery to make yourself look young. Stupid. Now that's some dumb shit right there. You just get the Dragon Balls and wish for this, wish for that, do this, do that, do this. It's sad. But other than that, like I said, the whole movie, it was good. I liked the story with Gohan, Piccolo, and Pan. Um, it's kind of dumb how you had Goten Trunks coming towards the end of the movie, and now they're so dumbfounded in the movie. The whole movie was not really like it was. It didn't have no high hopes in the end because it started out good. Like I like the whole idea, like the Red Ribbon Army want revenge and all this, and it's kind of weird. The only thing that's missing from this movie is Android 21. She's the only character that's missing. So it's kind of weird how they could have did a Dragon Ball Fighter Z movie, but they didn't. So I do find that strange. She could have been in this movie, but superhero movie, it was good. All right, so that's basically my conclusion to all the series of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. We had a little rants on about Pokemon and stuff earlier in the video and all that stuff. So we're gonna talk about the other stuff. As the last part is what I kind of see of Dragon Ball, what it will be now. So I start with the figure, the action figures and stuff now. I really don't like the pricing on SH Figure Arts at the moment right now, especially the ones that are coming out now and all that stuff. It's just ridiculous. I would not pay $100 for no Frieza, or $100 for Mela Cooler, or $100 for this, or uh, Vegeta from the Frieza saga and all that stuff. Like, no, because it's kind of stupid. Like, I would never pay that high price for that character ever. So it's kind of nice that what's a good thing out of the SH Figure Arts is that I'm actually finding some at the store. So it's kind of cool. So I had to admit, I did get two of them from the store. Um, let's see, I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Let me think. Last year I had found the full power of Super Saiyan Goku that everybody was dogging on. I think I found the Sand Rays on Earth Goku as well. No, I got Sand Rays on Earth Goku in 2022, and I got the full power of Super Saiyan in January of last year. But as so far as I've been going to Walmart, I've been seeing a bunch of SH figure arts and stuff. I think last time I went, I saw Trunks in a Saiyan armor, feature Trunks, and I saw Frieza, and they had the Sand Rays on Earth Goku, I think, and they was at Walmart for $35. So I'm like, wow. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Um, but I think the figures that people will be looking for are I think the ones they're looking for now. I think the Vegeta one that they came out with last year. I think with the that Trunks is that I think those two are store retail price store retail products, because I think in 2021 that's when they announced the SH Fig Arts will go into retail stores. Because I think at the time, I think I was talking to I think it was Dragon Ball Z. Well, technically today it's called Zara Animations. He kind of like did not like the fact that they was going to put figure arts in the store, and I was like, "Wow, that's actually a good thing." And then when I look up the pricing of how much the figure arts will be at the store, that's the same price they were back then. Because I remember when I first saw these figure arts, they were $35 on eBay. When I first got on eBay and I saw that Goku, the Goku, regular Goku, for $35. And today's standard, that same Goku is almost $180 now. But seeing a brand new normal Goku on the shelf for $35, that's pretty good, I have to say. But, they were to pay a high price for that figure and everything, and they would do that. But in reality, I would never want to pay $100 for no figure arts. Now, going on to the Dragon Stars, I actually do like more than the figure arts. They say the pricing on the figures. Pretty soon, I will be happy to get Super Boo from Dragon Stars and get Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. So I would definitely would like to have those three. And definitely would get Super Baby Vegeta. Now I gotta get that figure. I mean, like I saw that they announced him. I was like, holy shit, I gotta get this figure because I gotta make a Shinron now. And Dragon Star's been doing pretty good, I have to say. So I would love what they're going to announce next. I mean, it's pretty cool. But it's how it is, you know? So seeing figure arts being high priced and doing all that is just sad. I don't like it at all. Okay, so the next thing, the final thing of this video is the talk about Dragon Ball Daima, and paying tributes to Akira Toriyama. So as for Dragon Ball Daima, I kind of disappointed kind of when I saw that trailer of that show. It didn't feel right to me. It felt weird and it kind of felt strange because the show, in some case, some people saying it's gonna be a Dragon Ball GT again, all over again, and like I don't know what the hell they're thinking of the show, but in reality, I don't think it will help it at all. Besides, I think they should let the show end. I mean, like, well, technically, it kind of ended back in 2004. In some cases, it kind of did end. Yeah, it kind of did end in 2004. So, seeing that Goku turn into a kid, Vegeta turn into a kid, all the characters are kids again. It's not right. It's just so wrong. I don't know what the hell they are thinking with the show. And it's not going to be good. I don't know how they're going to do this show, but it's not right. I mean, we just have hope for that brand new game to kind of cover that up. I mean, like it needs to be covered up, but I can't see what they're gonna do with this show. I mean, like it's. I mean, they can like they can make a Xenoverse. They can. I mean, they got the. I mean, you got the knowledge right there. You can make a whole multiversal. I mean, I think superhero was trying to do that because I think Fu was in the superhero show they had on that they were broadcasting on YouTube. Because I think Fu was in that show, and they could have had made that whole universe off of that, make a whole show of the universe. But I don't know what they're gonna do with this. Another thing, like I said, like after that, like I didn't know like that would happen, like with Akira Toriyama, and it kind of did hurt me a little. It's kind of surprising. It yeah, it hit a lot of people. I mean, like crazy. Like it was, it was just mind blowing. Like I never thought that would happen. Then kind of when I heard about it, I felt like yeah, I felt very yeah sad. And what was so hurtful about that when I heard about him passing, it was raining. And that's what was crazy about it. It was raining. I'm like, what? Yeah, I felt so down. But, after that week passed, like a week or so, like 2 weeks later or so, you know, I moved on. And so during the whole 2 weeks, you got a whole bunch of people keep making videos of it. I mean, like, if you only can make one video, you don't need to make 5 or 10 or 20, and you're just doing a whole trend. And that's true. Only talk about it once, and that's it. Not 20 times. No, I would never do that. Because you can see those guys were not, they were trending off of something. Because I would never trend off of something that is, I mean, like, you only talk about it once, and that's it. Not 20 or 5 or 10 times. I mean, like, it was just ridiculous. But like I said, it would never be no Dragon Ball without him. And technically, seeing Dragon Ball Daima, I would say stop that show. And like I said, it ended with GT, and I always thought that it ended with GT. It did not end with no Super, because Super is erasing Z. Technically, it's actually erasing Z, because that's all it's doing. Because it's trying to erase that whole ending of Goku versus Oob. If that actually would happen already, then we wouldn't be still sitting a whole super arc of something that never happened, because it really did not happen. Because if it did, I would saw this in the end of Z. I don't remember Goku turned to no Kaioken again. I don't remember Goku turning to no blue hair Super Saiyan. And Frieza did not return. He did not get revived. He was dead in GT, if I remember correctly. Trunks did not come back either. So that's another lie. There was no multiversal universal tournament, because to be honest, would they all remember that at the end of Z? So technically, you can't make up something and say it happened. No, it didn't, because it would be in Z. It would not be, you know, there will not be no Super, because Super is erasing Z, and that's what it's doing. It's trying to erase that whole ending of Z and saying this happened, and technically it's trying to erase GT, because yeah, only two things in Super is correct. Pan and Bola are born. But yeah, but Super really don't exist, because Z ending is not even in the darn show, because none of it, the stuff they did in that show, really was not really that dark, or you know problems and all that. It was just it's all fun. So no, I don't think it really did happen. I don't think anything in that show really happened, because it don't really exist. It might exist in the video games in its universe now, but it don't really connect with Z at all. It don't. So guys, that's basically my ending to this whole conclusion of the Dragon Ball uh, Remaster series. And Toriyama is Dragon Ball. Until we meet again, he is a Shenron. So, overall, guys, for this whole conclusion, what you think of this series? Of course, you can watch all the other videos. I might make a playlist of the Dragon Ball Remaster series and put them all in a playlist so you guys can watch it on this channel. Because the only playlist I had was the old Chucky TV, the Chucky series remaster, all that stuff. So I'm going to make a playlist for the remaster ones I just did, and then um, the remaster playlist for this one, for the Dragon Ball one as well. But as so far as you guys see on my channel, of course, yeah, I'm talking about one guy on this channel a lot because he's basically been doing a lot of crazy shit. Um, you'll probably see that video soon, or probably, yeah, you probably will see that video soon because there was a lot of crazy crap that happened. This was last week, of course, as you guys are watching this video. Today is today's Friday. Yeah, for today's Friday, as you guys are watching this video. Um, I mean, it's been a lot of crazy shit happened last week, and I gotta really talk about. I think I already made the video. While I was recording, I think yesterday. But of course, today's Friday, so you guys won't see that video. The next video about fake file enemies probably till Monday. That'd be the first. So technically, that'll be the first because Easter is Sunday. That's today's Friday. Today's Good Friday. All right, so yeah, so that's basically it for this whole series, the Dragon Ball discussion video series, the remaster series conclusion. And of course, like I said, Dragon Ball, I think it should have a good ending somewhere, but technically, it kind of did end with GT. I always thought that anyway, because Super really don't connect to anything. It's kind of like a show you will see somebody make up something and it don't really connect to anything. It's just weird. Alright, so hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And stay tuned for more videos and check out the other videos on my channel here and other discussion videos, of course. And yeah, stay tuned. See you guys and peace.